What's going on, guys? Unknown Player here, and today we've got a bunch of things to discuss. Some new faction rewards, an important tip on how to get more exotic engrams and increase your chances, and also some weird stuff happening with the raid, trials, and the nightfall, among some other things. So firstly, let's talk about some exotics and faction loot. Now, something pretty strange is that Io was supposed to be the destination for the Flashpoint this week, and also Cade's treasure maps, but for some reason, it's Titans that is the new location. But regardless, Cade's chests are always super worth grabbing. Now, as an important tip that will help you get more exotics and generally some better loot, you shouldn't be rushing around and grabbing these chests as quick as you can. The game actually has a cap on how many items you can get from chests in a short period, so you can't just indefinitely farm chests, like loot caves. That doesn't work at all. Cade's chests are included in that, so if you grab them all as fast as you can, some of them are going to drop literally nothing or just bad items like 1 blue. And in general, if you want the highest chance at exotic engrams, which are pretty common from these, give it some time between chests and you've got a much higher chance. So I'd suggest grabbing a Cade chest and then doing a public event or a high value target, stuff like that. But the public event is normally a good amount of time, so you don't have to get the lockout for chest loot. And then while you're doing that, you're also completing your flashpoint on Titan. So 2 birds, 1 stone, which is really helpful. And of course, public events are still the best way to level up, get exotics, and generally progress the game. So try and give it some time. Don't be rushing around grabbing these Cade chests instantly. I remember the first time I opened them on EDZ, I unintentionally spaced them out because I kept getting distracted. But 2 of the 5 chests gave me exotic engrams. So if you want the best chance at exotics, definitely space those chests out. Now, something else that's quite exclusive you can only get from these Cade chests are actually faction weapons. I believe there's 4 of them in the game right now. They have a pretty slim chance of dropping. That's obviously a small portion of the faction gear that's going to be arriving next week with the faction rally event. But this week I picked up an auto rifle called the Numbar, which is from Future Walkout, as you can see. And this thing's actually really good. I'm pretty happy I got this thing. It's got some solid stats and perks. And it's also Omolon, which is probably my favorite foundry. But it looks really nice with some of the shaders, the way the color schemes work. But in terms of perks, you've got a short range and medium scope. It's also got extended mag, which increases the magazine size from 33 to 39. Not a massive boost, if I'm honest, especially considering the loss in reload speed. I'd probably recommend going for ricochet rounds because it increased the range and stability, and you also get the massive chunk of reload back. And then, of course, the bullets bouncing off surfaces, which is pretty pointless in itself. And the final perk is essentially glass half full from Destiny 1. Rounds at the end of the mag do more damage, so even more reason to run ricochet rounds. But this is a really nice drop. I'm pretty happy with this. Now, another faction weapon available from these chests is a dead orbit hand cannon called the Dire Promise. It seems okay, but nothing special. It's got steady rounds, appended mag, and triple tap, which is quite an interesting perk. It actually looks pretty similar to the old-fashioned hand cannon, but unlike that one, this is the fast rate fire archetype, which isn't honestly ideal. I think the slower one is much better. I actually got this weapon twice, but I did dismantle it both times, so I couldn't even tell it was dead orbit. The logo is so small. I just thought it was an average hand cannon, but disregarding the fact it's rare, and of course from dead orbit, it is, to be honest, quite an average hand cannon. Now, there's another weapon from Dead Orbit, which is a pulse rifle. This is called the 3 Graves. Again, it's got that old design like the Dead Orbit hand cannon did. It makes me wonder if all the Dead Orbit weapons are this old style of weapon, and New Monarchy is Hacker, and maybe Future Walkout is Omolon. It could just be a coincidence, but if that is the case, Future Walkout will probably have the best weapons. But this pulse rifle looks okay. It might be decent in PvE. It's got extended mags, flared magwell, and outlaw, so it will have super fast reloads. Honestly, I found pulse rifle seems to be, for the most part, pretty bad in Destiny 2. Unlike Destiny 1, they were one of the best weapons, one of my favorites. There are very few pulse rifles that I've actually liked, the Vigilance Wing Exotic being one of them, but pulses just seem a bit weak in Crucible and very weak in PvE. Let me know if you guys notice the same, but auto rifles are definitely amazing now for a change. It's like every single one I pick up, even blue ones, just seem to feel really good. But I don't honestly have high hopes for this pulse, especially seeing as it is in that high impact archetype, but we'll have to see. Now, there's also the Sentencer 4, which I've seen a ton of you guys tweet me. This is a New Monarchy Scout Rifle from the Hacker Foundry. It's got a pretty nice color scheme on it. This is a high impact archetype, so it's the same as that does not compute. The Red Scout Rifle from the base, the very slow firing, high impact one. And this one's got armor piercing rounds, extended mag, and cocoon. So haven't really tried out too many of the high impact scouts in the game. Maybe this will be a good example of the archetype, but I do want to try it out because I always do love a good scout rifle. So like I said, those weapons are obtained from the Cade's treasure map, so you'd have a good chance of getting those if you're lucky. And again, try and space those out to get the best chance of exotics or those faction weapons in themselves. But if you don't get lucky this week and get them, of course, next week, the faction rally arrives and you'll be able to get them from the vendors. Now, something I talked about in yesterday's video are the prestige mode weapons, or what we assumed would be the hand cannon and the sniper rifle. But this week on the reset, everyone started getting them, and the raid weapons are actually on a rotation randomly each week. So some of them won't be dropping, and some of them will basically. So far, it seems to be a hand cannon and a sniper rifle. It makes me wonder if there's going to be a linear fusion rifle and a grenade launcher as well. I doubt it, but possibly next week. We'll have to wait and see. But do let me know down below in the comment section if you got anything new or noticed anything different about the raid. I know the boss rooms have actually rotated as well for the week, so the dogs is actually the very first encounter now. I'm not sure if that's the best idea, because I do genuinely think that the dogs are the most difficult part of the raid, especially for new players, and it may deter them. If they can't beat the dogs, then maybe they can't do the rest of the raid. But right now, this week, it's the dogs and then the gauntlet, which is the running game show part. Then there's the bath section, and then Callus, of course, at the end, who will always be the last raid boss. But honestly, the baths and the gauntlet are super easy, so I feel like they should probably be one of the two first, in my opinion, with the dogs later on. But the order of the boss rooms is now either random or in a set rotation. Either way, it won't be the same each week. Now, something else strange is that Trials of the 9 is actually still playable right now. It's supposed to turn off every Tuesday on reset, but either it runs for longer now or this is an unintended bug. But again, seems to be a lot of strange things going on this week. I mean, it is the very first reset with the raid and Trials going live, so it's kind of understandable. Things are a little bit weird, but there's definitely a lot of stuff that's unintended happening. Now, I've also heard from a lot of you guys this week saying that the Prestige Nightfall is basically impossible and also bugged, so it can't really be completed, or at least it's very difficult. Again, let me know your thoughts down below in the comment section if you've tried the Prestige Nightfall yet. But is the fallen boss on Nessus the one that goes invisible? Apparently your weapons do like no damage to him. Others are saying that it's bugged and you can't drive through the blue beams you're supposed to collect and they don't appear. Some are saying you have to find this Dreg or Vandal that's glitched into a wall, and when you kill him the blue beams appear again. Apparently this happens sometimes on the normal version of the strike, but for some reason on this Prestige difficulty it's a lot more common. But I haven't tried the strike myself just yet. I'll probably will later, but add that to the list of strange things happening this week with the reset. So there you go, that's been a rundown of some cool things happening, some weird things, some faction weapons, and also how to get more exotics from those cage chests. Definitely worth doing. But if you enjoyed the video, a like rating down below would be awesome. Your support on these Destiny 2 videos has been incredible lately, so I really appreciate it. Every time you like a video or comment, it always helps the channel grow. If you want to watch another video from me, then click the image on screen right now, and I'll see you guys in the next one.